I really enjoy watching the big companies which really focus on the data. So I definitely want to be a part of the process for the companies who use data wisely and who enjoy using the data. So first company that come to my mind is Netflix, let's say, because they really take care of their user behaviors. They really show that they polish their algorithms and develop their algorithms to really for user benefits, for user profits, to make them happy. So definitely that's one of the companies. Spotify is also a really nice example of using data wisely. So yeah, if I will mention some brands, definitely those who already know the value behind the data, the value behind the user behaviors, understanding their experiences, will be the ones whom I admire and really want to work with.
Hello, everyone. My name is Agata Walendowska, and here we are in Startup Stories, where we talk about startups and what make them work. Today, my special guest is Paulina Walkowiak, CEO of CUX Startup, which create a digital analytic tool for every company. So, hello, Paulina. Thank you for being here, and how are you today?
Hi, Agata. Thank you for having me here. Pretty good. It's sunny again here in Lisbon, so that's pretty nice because we had a few rainy days ahead of us. So yeah.
Thank you for being here and thank you for your time. And I think that we can start with the first question. So, what does your startup do?
Yeah, so CUX is a platform which helps companies to better understand their customers, their journeys, and their behaviors across their digital products, mostly the websites. So we help companies to spend less time on analyzing all data possible. We just try to provide them the most important data about user frustration, about the places where they get stuck on the website, or what in general kills their sales. So with using CUX, they are able to get more valuable insights in less time and in a more efficient way, and they are also allowed to just implement the user perspective to their digital products.
Okay, and do you have a big competition on the market? Because I think that it's, in my opinion, I saw a lot of, I think, similar companies like you. And is your competition is big, and what stands out your startup by the other firm who
Sure.
offer the similar services?
Yeah, so product analytics and user behavior analytics is a hot topic nowadays, definitely. If it comes to the competition, it is big. Of course, it depends on how you look at the problem and how you look at the challenge we are facing and the problem we are trying to resolve for our customers. So with us, with CUX, the most important thing is that we combine two types of the data for our customers. So on one hand, we have the quantitative data, which we perfectly know from Google Analytics, from the Pivot Pro or other tools such like those. On the other hand, we have quantitative data, which we know from a lot of survey tools or just user recording tools or heat map tools like Hotjar or Full Story, etc. And with CUX, you are able to combine both types of data into one journey. So you have in one time not only the answer to question what is going on, where is the problem on my website, but also why it is happening. So what is happening on the user side and why they are struggling with some parts of our tool. We also use the machine learning algorithms to better understand the patterns behind user behaviors. So that's all together means that with CUX you are able to make everything much easier and in with less amount of time. So it just allows you to cut the resources, all kind of resources like time resources, human resources, mostly the developer resources, because CUX is working as it is. So you don't need to have, for example, developers engaged into the whole process of the setup configuration because we auto capture events. You don't need two other specialists from different tools because you have everything in one tool. We also provide some kind of consultancy services for some of our customers. So we help to develop the analytical skills in the companies and to just polish the skills set up within the teams. So I guess that those are the things that make us really pioneers in this field, combining two kinds of data, helping with understanding what does it mean, and just shortening this way to the valuable insights.
That's great. And you mentioned that you are in Lisbon, so not Poland.
Yeah.
And is that tool is for everyone, or you just focus on the Lisbon companies, or your target is global?
Okay, so being based in Lisbon, it's my private decision, to be completely
Okay.
honest. I'm living here because it's a sunny place and it's yeah, it's a sun. Let's stop it in here. It's a sunny place. So we decided to move here because our whole team works remotely, so it doesn't matter where are we based in. Yeah, so that's the thing. If it comes to the companies we are focusing on, our target group, speaking in general, CUX can be used by any company that has some digital product, that has some websites. The best results, though, will get the companies with a specific amount of traffic, which is higher than, let's say, 100,000 page views per month. Then we can see the results. Of course, small projects can also benefit from CUX by watching recordings and everything, but the full option and this aha moment is the most spectacular and the most impressive for the bigger projects, definitely. When we started, we thought that we will be the tool that is used by software houses to see how the products they developed work and lands on the market. Then we also thought that we are just the tool for the e-commerces. Right now, we are specialized in working with financial products, insurance companies, fintech products, because we really care about the data security and everything that's related to that. So we are the only tool that is 100% compliant with the GDPR, that store the data in the EOG. So a lot of companies that previously were not allowed to use any type of this kind of tool like ours, they can use and profit from using CUX. So yes, we are for every kind of the digital product, but we are specialized in working with the insurance and fintech companies. Of course, we also have in our client portfolio a lot of e-commerces.
Yes, I saw on your website that you work, for example, with Warner Bros. Discovery or
Yeah.
T-Mobile. So it's a big company that you can help.
Yeah.
And do you have any dream enterprise with which you would like to collaborate in the future?
Um, I really enjoy watching the big companies which really focus on the data. So I definitely want to be a part of the process for the companies who use data wisely and who enjoy using the data. So first company that come to my mind is Netflix. let's say, because they really take care of their user behaviors. They really show that they polish their algorithms and develop their algorithms to really for user benefits, for user profits, to make them happy. So definitely that's one of the companies. Spotify is also a really nice example of using data wisely. So yeah, if I will mention some brands, definitely those who already know the value behind the data, the value behind the user behaviors, understanding their experiences, will be the ones whom I admire and really want to work with.
And how the work with the big companies such as Warner Bros. Look like in your case?
Mm, it's definitely about building relations. It's not about just providing a tool. It's not about giving some solution and letting people to just discover it by themselves. It's about building the relations. It's about giving to your customers something that they are missing. Big enterprises has limited opportunities to develop the innovation, and with us we are on the opposite side, right? We are the innovation. So that's the thing that we can offer them, but also in return we can learn from them how to build the big company, how to deal with such a huge audience as they have, how to prepare all the structures and everything. So that's something that we definitely learn from them, and it's only possible if you really take care of the relations. So it's not like the regular sales process, you are buying it or not. It's more about understanding their needs, what they are struggling with, what are their challenges, how we can be helpful for them, where can we make their life easier. And with the big companies, we usually don't work with only one team, like UX team or product team or marketing team. We work with them across the company with many different people. So that's really important for us to focus on their needs, to help them specifically with their challenges, and to show them how universal can be to use such a tool like ours. So it's definitely not only the typical SaaS model of selling or product-led growth. It's definitely the strategy when we are the consultants. Kind of consultants, and we are there for them. So it's like human to human relations.
And that's great, and that's really impressive that your startup, your company, do such things. And how long your startup has been on the market?
We are officially launched in 2019, in half on 2019. So it's been already 4 years.
And I can say that it's a very young company and you have a great achievement so far. So how did your journey from the beginning to that point, where are you, look like?
Wow, this was quite a hell of a journey, to be honest. It's first of all, I never thought that I will have my own business. To be completely honest, I was really into the user behavior, into analyzing how people make decisions, how they behave. I was previously working in the marketing research field, but for the traditional offline companies. So I was always into understanding and analyzing people behaviors. Then after a lot of discussions with my business and private life partner, we decided to translate my knowledge from the offline world into the online, into the digital products. When we decided to start, we knew that we want to bring the value to the market, and that was most important thing for us, that we will show to the market, how they can analyze, how they can understand the user behaviors, and how to do this in a proper way. So we were 100% focused on a product, and this is not something that you can really make a business of. I'm often saying that I was quite a romantic person back then, thinking that the great idea and the great knowledge will just survive on the market. It's a lot more than that, and you need to be focused and really have the good understanding of the market. You have to closely and carefully listen to the potential customers and also to the haters. Yeah, we were doing a lot by ourselves. Of course, we never was a big team, and we don't even started to be a big team. It's just dozen of people. This journey takes much longer than you will expect in the beginning. It takes much more. Everything takes 2-3 times more than you expect in the very beginning. We had the times when we just finished R&D phase and we have to reduce the number of people in our team because we had to try to pass the exam if the tool will survive on the market. After all, it survived, but it required a lot of our work, a lot of our patience, a lot of determination. And at some point, I realized that most probably we will never be a unicorn, but we are a cockroach, and cockroaches can be really, really nice animals, creatures, let's say, and definitely it determines that we will survive. So to be honest, if I will go with and try to explain this whole journey, we definitely not have enough time today. But what I really want to emphasize is that starting a startup, it's not as sexy as it showed in media. Yep.
Okay, so maybe you can tell us how did you came up with the idea, because you have the knowledge, you transform it, but how did you came up with the idea for the startup?
Yeah, so there was a need. My partner is our CTO, so he was a developer before, and he started his own business before CUX. It was just a boutique software house. And I joined this company, and we needed to know how users of the products that we developed behave. So the idea started to being introduced into real life by just thinking and figuring out what kind of data, what kind of information will be useful for us to better understand the customers. We started with that. Then we started to reach out to kind of influencers on the market, and also just companies that we have some relations with, to understand if it will be also useful for them. And we were just working on the product, polishing it, and also observing the competitors, observing what's already available on the market and what kind of need we can address for the customers. So it's like a mixture of my experience, my partner experience, the needs that were emphasized somehow or just articulated by the companies that we knew back then. And first, it was just the tool that showed the user recordings and the heat maps. But we noticed that it's not everything that companies need, that they need something more, that the biggest problem is with combining the two kinds of data I mentioned before, and that they don't have a time for analytics. So we were coming with this UX automation concept, and right now we are not using this UX automation claim we are no longer using this UX automation concept as a claim, because we realize that UX is much more. It's not only about the UX, it's also about sales process, it's about user journey within the product, it's about marketing campaigns. So we decided to focus on this digital experience analytics. So it was evolution rather than revolution. I guess we are still trying to adjust to the new needs that market is facing. Right now, we are, for example, working on our AI Ocado Concierge, which is the concierge helping hand of sorts that will show our customers in a much easier way how to use the data, how to get the insights, where the insights are hidden, so they will be able to use it. So if I should summarize this whole process, how CUX was developed, how it started, it was having some need, listening to the market, introducing some first version, and constant working on improving this first idea and trying to solve the most crucial problems that we observed on the market.
That's great. That's a great base for the startup. And you mentioned that you work with your partner. So what is the biggest challenge in working with someone who is relatively close to you? And is that challenging?
A lot of people say yes. And at some point, I would also agree with that. But for most of the time, it's a great opportunity for me because, and I guess it's possible for us because we have our own expertise fields, our own topics to cover within the company. He is CTO, he is the product guy, his responsibility is to take care of our technical development and everything that's related to the IT field. I'm more like a face of the company. I'm more like a communication person. I build the relations with the client. I was building the relations with the clients as a first person. So we have our expertises. The challenge is to have your personal life, your private life somehow balanced with the work life. And I truly believe that work-life balance is a bullshit, and you cannot live like this. I believe more in the work-life harmony, let's say. So our private life, it's never 100% free from the work stuff. And of course, if everything is good and if everything works okay on the everyday basis, everything is fine on both fields mostly. But if there is some stressful time, there is some more challenges than usual in one of the fields, that of course has some impact on the other part. Of course, we are doing our best to be professional and of course separate those two spaces, but it's not always possible. So that's the biggest challenge, I guess, and it could somehow sometimes feel like you are a bit trapped because you are always together. But I believe that if you do this with the right person, that everything is manageable. Definitely, I'm really glad that we can work together, because I think that if both of us will try to work in the startup field separately, that could cause a lot of problems in our private life. Right now, we know that we have a lot of challenges to face, but we are always together in it, and we are working as a team, and understanding that we always are a team, it's good. It could be exhausting for some time, so it's good to have the moment for you to just spend some time alone and to take care of yourself, of the self-care, which is the trendy thing right now. But really, really, really self-care and having some time alone and having also another fields outside the job, outside the private life, outside being together. It's my recipe to enjoy this time and this opportunity to work together and be together in private, in both private and work life.
I really like your attitude because a lot of people say that working with your partner is like not a cure, but it's like it can destroy relationship. And
Yep.
I think that this attitude is really healthy, and I really like it. But think in the challenges topic, like what is the biggest challenge in your startup that you have to overcome right now?
It's always the same. It's always juggling in between the money we have to spend to develop the company, time that we can spend on developing this thing, and balancing the needs we have with the possibilities and opportunities we face at the moment, and managing the resources, the human resources we have, because we are really ambitious and we really want to achieve a lot, and our goals are always set up pretty high, and balancing the funds we have on our bank account, for example, and also the time we can spend right now and the resources that we have within our team. It's always the biggest challenge that we are trying to learn, and we are trying to work on this company development in a really sustainable way. So we really don't want to like work 24 hours 7 days per week. We really want to maintain this balance, maintain this ambitions as well. So that, and I guess that's always the biggest obstacle that you will have in a startup, because if you really want to conquer the world, let's say, and you see that people are doing it sometimes pretty quickly, if they are really lucky, and you still like every day facing the same problems, the same challenges, that you are constantly worrying about the money, about the time that you have available to achieve some things, it can be really exhausting. So yeah, learning how to juggle it, and realizing that you are not able achieve everything everywhere and all at once, that's something that's really, I don't want to use word challenging again, but that it is really challenging, and that's something that I'm constantly facing, constantly learning, and I'm not sure if there is some kind of a balance that you can achieve. If you achieve the balance, I think that you are not startup anymore.
Okay, so it's quite challenging running your own startup.
Yeah.
I think that's the best word, challenging, for a challenge for startup.
Yep.
And if your goal are top shelves and you are very ambitious, what are your plans for the future? Because you mentioned that you are working under AA development. So what are the next step in your startup?
Yeah, so there's a lot of plans that I don't want to, or I'm not allowed to talk about, but definitely we want to be number one choice, first choice tool for user behavior analytics or digital experience analytics. That's for sure. And we have a few different paths recognized already, how we will go there and how we will achieve that. I don't want to share the details, but definitely we want to keeping up with the technology. That's why the AI, the AI challenge. We also want to provide other possibilities, other features for our customers. So most probably we will also allow them to analyze user behaviors across different platforms. We already have few of them, but we will come with others. And it's also making our visibility on the global markets like bigger. So working on our market visibility across first Europe and then also outside the Europe. So there are a few different paths that we want to go to face the challenge of being the number one choice for analytics. One is the features. Let's start with the features and technology, then the visibility and sales on a global startup scene.
So finger crossed that everything goes well and your plans just came true. And how do you take of data security in your startup? Because you're working with company, you collect their data about the user experience and all of that. So how do you protect them before leaking or?
Yeah, so it's a whole and complex protocol that we are following to make the data secure. First of all, we use only encrypted connections to send the data. That's the first thing. The second one is following the GDPR guidance and just take care of the personal data as much as possible. Then storing the data in the EOG and having also a trusted partner which has all the necessary certificates and allows us to have a proper control on our data. So that's the three main things that we use. We also have a lot of procedures to test everything that we are implementing to the tool. We allow our customers to also test us, to audit our code all the time. So also it forces us to keep the standards pretty high. It's from the basics to the very advanced things. We really don't think that any compromises are possible in that field. So if you're really looking for a tool which have the safety first and which really take care and can also educate you about how important it is to just take care of your user data and to store them in a proper way, we are definitely the best choice. I don't know any other tools that really pass all the audits from the customers like 100%. So that's something that we're really, really proud of. Yep.
Yeah, that's great. I think the protection is very important, especially today when very often it's common to hear that some data just leak out of the company. So that's the most important.
Yeah, I guess you will be surprised how many companies still don't care about it and still don't follow the rules and the guidance for example, GDPR or the cookies policies. It's really like a nightmare, and sometimes I have this feeling that no one cares. Like seriously, we are trying to do our best to educate people how really important it is, and still when I observe how people implement other tools and everything, I'm really every day literally opening my eyes to be bigger and bigger, broader and broader, because I don't know. I don't know how people cannot follow those rules. So yeah, that's something that is really important to constantly talk about, and making people aware that data privacy is something that's most valuable in this digital era, let's say.
Yes, especially that everything is in internet right now and everyone has some data in the computer, in the mobile phone, so it's everything there. And I always ask this question because last time I have not pleasure situation with my bank because my data leaks out of the banks and I have to rechange account and everything. So I think that's an important topic for everyone
Yes.
who are
Yep.
interested in startup or just using some services. So that's why
Yep.
my question about it, because I also think that's very important, and more companies should hear about this and
Yep.
use the protection of data.
Yeah.
So yes, you want to add anything?
Yeah, I just cannot agree more. That's why I like to work with the insurance and fintech companies, because they are aware, and it's good that we can provide them what they need, and they really appreciate our us being careful about it. So yeah, so that's the thing, and I hope other markets, other kind of companies will follow, yeah, the standards.
Yes, I hope so. I also hope so. So, going to the next question. Your startup works for years now, and do you have what is your management style?
My management style, that's a great question, and I'm not sure if I should answer this question. What like, I have one rule. I think that as a CEO of the company, I should be the stupidest person in the room. So my challenge is to hire people that are more smart than me, that are bigger experts in their fields than I am. I love to hire people who I can learn from, who can I can be inspired by. And the second challenge when I hire those people is to give them space to grow, give them space to be creative, give them space to learn how to be even better experts. So definitely that's my managing style. That's the two main rules I'm following if it comes to managing my team. Uh, of course, we also have some um, mm, how to say it. We also allow our people to have not only their work life but also their private life. So we work 4 days a week. We are trying to always be honest if we are able to work or not. If we feel bad, our team, we are allowed to have a bad day, let's say. But everyone knows that if I have to just take day off, then on the other day I will give like 200%. It doesn't mean I will work for 16 hours. It means that I will be as focused as possible, and I will give my best to just get the job to be done. Yeah, so I guess that the main rules and that's the most important things that I'm following as a manager, as a leader. I also try to constantly learn, constantly be open for new ideas, coming with the new ideas, and I'm trying to inspire my people and let them also get some energy from me, because if I will not have the energy and the enthusiasm for following projects, how they can have, right? So that's something I'm really trying to do. Yeah.
It's a great attitude. I really like that managing style.
Yeah.
And it's hard to manage people when they work online from the different sides of the world. Because, for example, you are in Lisbon. I don't know where your
Yep.
other coworker are, but is that hard? Is that difficult?
Yeah, my team is, to be honest, located across the Europe. So there is no. Oh, not, right now we have two. Marketing is in one city. Our marketing is one city, but usually everyone is somewhere else. So to be completely honest, I don't know if it's hard, because I don't know another state of art. It's the only I ever dealt with. We were never working together from one office. I never managed my team, my company from one steady office. So I don't know if it's harder than usual. For me, it's the only way I know, and of course, it has some challenges as every type of management. But I don't find it's like much harder than the other one because I literally don't know if it is.
Okay, so it's the pandemic and COVID-19
Mhm.
was again challenge for you because if you work remotely, you
Mhm.
have team around the world, so you don't work from the
Yep.
office. And is that was challenging for you? Is that change something in your startup or
Nope.
everything?
Nope. No, if it has if it had influence, it was only positive influence because more and more companies are going digital, so they needed some kind of tool to understand their user behaviors, and that was the only impact. If it comes to managing the team and everything, nothing changed for us. We just officially canceled our small office, like headquarters lease, and that's it.
So the
From
pandemic
Yeah.
was a big surprise for you and a great opportunity to develop.
Definitely, it was a great opportunity to develop. Yes, of course, it was hard to be with our children 24 hours per day when they was not in the kindergarten. We had one newborn back then, so that was normal, and the second child was in the kindergarten. So that was, of course, some kind of challenge. But for my team and for from the working perspective, everything was the same as it was before pandemic, and people were asking us, how did you do that, like how you managed to work from home and remotely? And for us was like, yeah, that is the usuals, you will get used to it. So yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so the pandemic was a fully normal for you, the fully
Yep.
normal
Yes.
experience. And I have the question because right now I'm run around 12, 13
Mhm.
maybe podcast and about with the CEO of startup. And besides you, I was only one female CEO. So I would like to know how you feel being a woman in startup field because it's a man dominated field
Yep.
on the world. So do you feel different as a woman in startup or you feel just right?
To be completely honest, I never, like, I don't know how it is to be a man CEO. As a woman, for me, it was natural. I never felt like worse or something. I don't have the technical or IT background. I was studying journalism and communication, so that's something that really not make me the IT person. But I don't think that it's any problem nowadays. I've met on my professional journey a lot of wise men and never felt like less experienced or treated in a different way. Um, so I know that is a big challenge, and I know that in the big structures or in the corporates, that's a huge problem if it comes to the managing the teams and having the glass ceiling and everything. But in our innovative field, in this kind of young market and in this in the startup world, it's something that is completely natural, I guess. So I know that the corporates can learn a lot from us. We also have to be aware of what's going on in there and taking it under the consideration when we grow, once we grow and once we expand our teams, because that could be a trap. But I really keep my fingers crossed that the world will change enough till the time we are a big corporate someday, and it will be not a problem anymore. That's my wish. And yeah, so I'm aware that the problem exists. I know that it's big in the corporates, but I think for the startups, that's not such a thing. Of course, there is a lot of questions about funding for female entrepreneurs, but I guess that we have to know more and analyze what the potential behind, if really a lot of woman has the ambition to be CEO and it's not. So education is the way in here, and yeah. That's the thing.
That's great. I'm really glad that people have awareness of that, and I'm really happy that the startup doesn't have any obligation before trusting women as a CEO in the company. So I think that my last question to you is the question I always ask everyone about. So what is your advice for everyone who would like to start their own startup? What is your advice for them?
If you do this because you want to earn a lot of money, you have to be really patient. If you do this because you want to have this flexibility to work on your own rules, that's cool, but you really have to be really confident what are your rules. You are setting up the rules and you really have to be following them then. So if you are not pretty sure what you want to do, how you want to run the startup, what's your strategy, if you don't know how you will exit in few years, how you imagine your future, think twice if you want to really start it. If you want to earn a lot of money and if you wish for you a great success, don't go this way. Because it's like really extremely dangerous that your startup will not have a great success and will be definitely not be overnight success. It needs a lot of patience, a lot of dedication, a lot of work, and there is a lot of other positions that pays off much quicker, and the work there it's a lot of more satisfying, let's say. It's more satisfying. So yeah, that's not a really easy peasy thing to do.
So thank you for advice. I think that it's really true and real.
Yep.
So thank you one more time for being here. My guest was Paulina Walkowiak, CEO of CUX Startup. So thank you for being here. Is there anything you would like to add at the end of our conversation?
No, I just don't want to sound like I'm trying to make you not thinking about the startup. Of course not. It could be fun, and it's definitely a project that will be lifetime lesson for you. So maybe that's it. That if you really want to self-develop yourself in a few very different fields, and if you want to just face some challenges and you know that you are easy bored in the regular job, then definitely jump in. But if you really need a lot of money or you just want to keep your high standard of life, let's think twice again.
So thank you one more time for amazing conversation, Paulina Walkowiak. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for the invitation.